Welcome to the Michael Singer podcast, presented by Sounds True, in partnership with Shakti Publications. For more information about Michael Singer's work, access to all prior episodes, and information about upcoming releases, we invite you to join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com.
Jagrata, Jai Masters. There's a vast difference between religion and spirituality. What's the difference? If you're lost, and humans are lost, you do things that are not always so good. In general, they're selfish. That's why you do them. Because you want something, you need something. And so you don't have governors, if you will, on you, and you go over the line. What does it mean, over the line? There's no line, but society creates lines, and religion has a lot to do with society, as you see more and more nowadays. It's always been that way. Meaning social norms used to be dictated by religions. Don't do this, do this. There's the sins, this, that, and the other thing, passion and greed and lust and etc. Question that a great being asks is, why would you want to do those things? Forget what I need to be told not to do. I always pick on the Ten Commandments. I like the Ten Commandments. Come on, they're nice things. But they're embarrassing. It's embarrassing that God, the creator of the universe, let everything is so messed up that if he wants to come down and talk to you, what he wants to say is, hey, don't kill each other. Hey, don't lie. And by all means, don't steal each other's spouses. Wow, that's embarrassing. That's what he thinks about us. Check them all out, all 10. Wow, how did it get that way? And why is it that way? It's that way because it needs to be that way. Because we got so messed up that people do kill, that people do steal, that people do lie, and they do terrible things. Terrible measure how? If you want to lie to yourself inside your house and leave everybody else alone, go for it. Okay? But if you want to hurt other people with your lies, if you want to steal involves what you do to other people. So there are these bottom lines that end up being as follows. We better have some rules. Otherwise, it doesn't work out very well. So society, if we're going to live together, we have to figure out a way to not kill each other and not do all this stuff. And so you make the rules. And society creates the rules. The rules are not the same for every society, but in general, what they're about is, if you're interacting by yourself, it's probably okay. But if you're hurting other people, we better have some rules. They can't be the most powerful wins. They have to be protecting each other. So religions, society, they kind of meld together at that level. And most of your religions take on or have taken on sociological values. What's it got to do with spirituality? Nothing. Spirituality looks at that and says, really? You need to be told these things? Why would you steal? And we'll talk about that. What is passion? They're just told to suppress and hold things together. Things are not right, and you can't just go out there and be passionate. You gotta have rules. Why? All right, so the first question is, and it's not a question, it's so obvious it's ridiculous. I'm going to tell you this right now. It's all about Shakti. It doesn't matter if you ever heard the word Shakti. It doesn't matter if you believe in Shakti. It doesn't matter. Every single bit of it, from the bottom to the top, is about Shakti. What do you mean? Let's take passion. We don't usually talk about these kind of things. Let's talk about them. All right? What is passion? Okay? Passion could be the passion to express. It could be lust. This depends on the level and what it's about, right? But what is it? It is the fact that your Shakti, your energy inside, your divine, perfect, unbelievable energy is blocked. We'll talk about how it gets blocked in a minute. It's blocked. What happens if my energy is blocked? Which energy? The energy that makes me happy. Energy makes me feel like I want to do something. Maybe I feel I want to sing. Maybe I feel I want to love. I want to express this beautiful, beautiful energy. And the energy is always beautiful at its core. Its starting position is Satchidananda. Satchidananda, eternal conscious ecstasy. That's what's flowing through you, through who? Everybody, every human being. That's their natural state. That's what's flowing through you. Well, why don't I feel that? Because you're blocked. We'll talk about how that happens and what to do about it in a minute. But you're blocked. The energy's blocked. Just like the sun is always shining. But if it's a cloudy day, you don't see it. If you put an obstacle in the way of that beautiful upward flowing spirit energy Shakti, then you, who's on the other side of the cloud, you're not going to see it. It's going to look dark. Passion is actually very holy. It is basically saying, I want that Shakti. I want to feel joy. I want to feel love. I want to feel uplifted. I want to feel inspired. But I don't. Therefore, I'm blocked. So I feel this energy that obviously I know it's in there or I wouldn't want it. Do you understand that? You know that you can have a happier life in there, but it's not happening. And so the difference is when you are blocked, you try to find ways to get the energy flowing. And you may think, oh, well, that's spiritual practices. No spiritual practices. Yes, of course it is, because of where you're at, but you shouldn't need spiritual practices. I'm in big trouble. You shouldn't need any spiritual practices. You're the most spiritual being that ever walked the face of the earth. You're beautiful. You're filled with Shakti. You're filled with love. You're filled with joy. You're filled with inspiration. Every single minute, no matter what's happening outside. It has nothing to do with you. The outside has, how much can I talk about? The outside has absolutely nothing to do with the inside. There are different worlds. Your inside doesn't have form. You're in there, and there's this world in there with you. It is true that the outside world affects the inside world, but that by definition means they're separate. It needs something to happen to cause the inside to change. And that's what's happening. So long story short, you have found out how, through direct experience. I'm very proud of you. Generally, you don't have to read it in a book. Don't need somebody telling something. Hey, I notice if you come up to me and you say, you're the ugliest person I ever met in the face of my earth, like you vomit every time I look at you, that didn't feel real good, did it? I don't want that to happen. Hey, walk up to me and say, oh my God, you're so gorgeous. I've admired you since kindergarten. I'm embarrassed to say anything to me. You walk on water. You're the highest. Okay, that's a little nicer. What's that about? It's about the fact that the outside world has its nature. That's what the Buddhists say. Everything has its nature. The first way that I talk to you, it's a very low vibration. It is. They're low, negative thoughts. And when they come into you, they vibrate low and negative. What's wrong with that? Nothing, unless you can't handle it. If you in there who felt this vibration can't be okay. Yes, there's every vibration in the universe. There's yin and yang. And I felt this one, baby. Is that a problem? Not to an enlightened master. A great being doesn't make everything be the way they want them to be. Christ didn't say that. Christ didn't say, not thy will, but my will. Christ said, not my will, but thy will. In other words, I can handle what's going on. Because you can handle it, you don't have to do anything about it. Someone would ask Ramakrishna, great enlightened master, does an enlightened master ever feel anger? And he said, yes. And he said, it's like riding on water. Go write swear words on water. What's the difference? They don't stay 1/1000th of a second. As you move your finger down the water, the word's gone. So anger comes, it's gone. It's like writing on water. Just, okay, yes, of course, there can be energies that cause a vibration inside, and it goes right through. So it's not a matter that the outside has to be a certain way. It's not that a great being gets the outside to be the way they want. A great being is able to handle the reality of what's going on. Somebody walks up to you and disses you, fine, I feel it. We'll talk about dealing with it later. But okay, I can handle it, fine. You don't like me, all right? And this person's doting all over you. Hey, okay, they like me. It's the same. Why is it the same? See, you guys can understand that. If somebody compliments you or criticizes you, it is the same. No, yes, it is. They're just words floating through space. Say them in a language you don't understand and see what happens. They're just words floating through space. You're the one who makes a big deal out of them. But that's what it means when it says everything's the same. It doesn't mean it's the same, that the word is the same. It means they are words coming out of somebody's mouth because of what the person was feeling who said them. They're passing through air because that's the nature of vibrations. And they're coming into your eardrum and they're coming there. And then they hit your mind and your mind decides what you can do about it. Right? But they're just words. You can do whatever you want. Like I said, look at Christ. Look what he went through. Look what he said. Like I said, to me, the ultimate is forgive them, Lord. They know not what they're doing. It's not just I can handle it. I don't even need to judge. A great being is open enough inside to where the outside fits. It comes and it passes through. It's raining out. It's sunny out. It's weather. It's the same until you make it different. I don't like the rain. I don't like the sun. It's too hot. So that's the relation between the outside and the inside. The outside is doing its thing. It comes in because it's supposed to. You're sent here to experience life. You're experiencing it. Can you handle it? Can you handle what you're experiencing? And when the answer is no, that's where the blockages come from. I said I would talk about the blockages. When the energy comes in, any energy, and you can't handle it, you push it away. You try to stop it. I don't want this coming into me. I don't like what this feels like. So what are you going to do? It happened. It came in. Well, you do. All of psychology, I don't care if it's 101 or 1603, all of psychology is based on what you end up doing when the energy comes into you that you can't handle. You push it away, and that is suppression. Suppression, repression, denial, there's a good one. It did not happen. It did not. Why would you say such a thing? Because I can't handle it. Why would you lie about it? Because I can't handle it. I can't handle it when it came in, so I can't admit that it happened, so I make up a story about it, and there we go. There's your whole psyche being built, all because you couldn't handle the reality that came in. That's a foundational discussion. Do you understand that? And all of psychology, if you don't do that, if you don't push away the energy when it comes in, they're out of business. There is no psychology, there's no psychology books, there's no therapy, there's nothing. Why? You don't need it. You handle what happened. It came in, it went through. I'm not saying you can't deal with it. We didn't do that toward the end. But you don't react to it. You don't do it by not dealing with it. The fact that you can't deal with it inside, you end up doing all kinds of stuff outside to try to make it so you feel better inside. Well, that's not about solving the situation. That's got nothing to do with anything that happened. It's got to do with you in there. So if you resist, if you can't handle the energy that came in, that's why there's all these sociological rules. That's why you're taught the 10 Commandments. Because if you can't handle what come in, you become a mess. Why? Because you couldn't handle it. So what did you do? I like to challenge you with it. What did you do when something came in that was really, really not comfortable? You suppressed it. You pushed it away. What does psychology say is the effect of having suppressed those things? You become a mass murderer, a rapist, a thief, all kinds of things. Why? Because you're not okay. I'm going to the extreme. The extreme is, I made a mess. Mommy didn't love me, and this didn't happen, and that didn't happen. And my first girlfriend went out with my best friend, and I am one angry dude or dudess. And what am I going to do if I'm angry? Express it, baby, because I can't hold it inside. All of the psyche, all of psychology, all of that is because you couldn't handle what happened. If you can handle what happened, fine, it happened. I may deal with it. You stole my car. How do you know they stole your car? Because it's not there. There. Very good. Let those of eyes to see, let them see. So basically, the car's not there. And what are we going to do? Oh, well, I can handle it. You should be able to handle it. Why? Because it happened. You need to be able to handle anything that actually happened. Otherwise, you can't handle it, and you're going to make a mess. Okay, car's stolen. What do? Call the police. Call the insurance company. Do exactly, we call it dharma. Do exactly what is the proper right action. Buddhists call it right action. The proper right action given the situation. Guess what's never right action? I can't handle it. Where do you see what to do? Your action under those conditions that you couldn't handle what happened will always be about you. It will never be about helping the situation that took place. So now we've got blockages. Why? Because you resisted reality. No blockages in there. You don't have a single suppressed thing inside that when it happened, it's fine, it's wonderful, good, it's fine. Fine, my mother likes my brother better than me. I don't have to prove myself. I don't hate my brother. I have to be mad at my mother forever. No, people like what they like. They don't like what they don't like. I don't care. I don't even want to know why. How you like that? What's it got to do with why? I can handle it. It's fine. I love my brother. I'll help them. I'll make sure that my brother gets to go sit in the front seat because my mother likes that. For no reason other than I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't care who sits in the front seat. Do you hear me? Can you even think that could exist? That's what it means. It comes in and goes through. All right. So we're talking about what is passion? What is lust? What are these things? They are blocked energy trying to express themselves. They are literally God suppressed, the God divine energy that Christ talked about, spirit flowing, the ecstasy. That energy suppressed is a problem. Why? Because it's trying to get out. It's always trying to get out. It is not natural for energy to be pushed away and then held in place down there. Energy needs to be moving. I want to define for you the word samskara. That's a very, very deep word in yoga. What is a samskara? Outside energy that came in with its vibration. It's the expression of God, yin yang, whatever it is. It came in, it happened. And when it hit your consciousness, you resisted it. You pushed it away. Well, what happened to that energy? It didn't finish. It didn't make it through. It got stuck inside of you. How? How can energy get stuck? Energy is always moving. I wrote this in my first book in 1974. I wrote this in The Search for Truth. How can energy move and stand still in a circle? It's circling around itself. And it's not standing still, is it? But it's staying in one place. That's why the circle is such a deep spiritual concept. Energy can stay in one place if it circles around itself. And that's what a blockage is. You stop that energy that you couldn't handle, even though it didn't really happen, and you use your will, your inner power, to push the energy away so it didn't go past you because it wasn't comfortable. I don't want to feel this, do I? I don't want to feel this. Well, but you are feeling it, or you wouldn't say, I don't want to feel it. By definition, it's so simple, it's ridiculous. And 1 equals 1, 2 equals 2, all right? If you weren't feeling it, you wouldn't have to worry about feeling it, would you? So you don't get to say, I don't want to feel this. You better say, all right, I'll feel it. Otherwise, I have to try and lie to myself. That's the first lie. I don't want this to happen. This didn't happen. Do you notice you push things away in there? Answer me. Do you notice that you have the tendency to do this, to control and manipulate and push and so on and so forth? Okay? That's what happens. You push these things down, they form these patterns of cycles, and they store everything about the pattern. They store what the smell was like, what the person said, what they looked like, what you felt. If you're 5 years old and some fairly dramatic, terrible thing happened to you, it doesn't have to be that terrible, by the way, but it happens, when it comes back up, you literally feel what mommy was like. You feel what your feelings were at that time, and you can literally feel the same stuff come up, the same thoughts come up. Because you stored them. You stored them in that pattern, that samskara. It's a little packet of energy that has stored this. Well, guess what? That packet of energy doesn't want to be down there. Why? For the exact same reason that your body has an immune system. It doesn't want bacteria and things in there. So it tries to get them out, doesn't it? All by itself. You don't even know what's happening. It raises your temperature a little bit, or it sends white corpuscles. It does all kinds of amazing stuff to try and create purification inside so that you're healthy. Your mind and your heart are exactly the same. We call it your mental body and your spiritual body. I don't want you to get weirded out in thoughts of bodies, but you do. You have an energy body and a mental body. They're different. And they don't want that stuff in there. And they're always trying to push it out. That's why your mind is so noisy, because the stuff you store down there is trying to release. All right? And every once in a while, it talks about the exact same stuff in there, doesn't it? All by itself. You see a poster, you hear somebody talk that has an accent, they get stuff about, and all of a sudden, woo, this stuff's coming up. Yes or no? It's called hitting my stuff. It happens all the time. And you've got so much stored in there that it really happens all the time. And so look at how many things you don't like. You don't even like the thought about things. The things you don't like the thought about are the ones you stored stuff about. So that to have a thought about it brings them back up, right? My favorite, somebody once said it to me, I saw it, and I never forgot it. There's a very great man, I respected a great deal, and somebody said, we don't talk about that around him. He can't handle that. What do you mean he can't talk about something, he can't handle it? You know about that, don't you? That's a sensitive subject. There are no sensitive subjects. They're just subjects until you got stuff going. That which is sensitive to you, she don't care what hoot about. It's like you've stored this stuff in there. So that's your starting position. So what's that got to do with passion? Passion is that energy. What energy? The divine energy that underneath is pure love, pure beauty, pure spirit, pure God, blocked. It's like a virus. Now you got that stuff stored down there. So when other things come in, they hit that stuff and cause all kinds of commotion, don't they? Pain and commotion and disturbance and fears and anxieties. Well, that's not comfortable. So what happens is you find sometimes in life that events happen outside that actually do well inside. Those are the ones that made it past your stuff. Somebody comes up, they look like your sixth grade teacher that you really liked, and all of a sudden you're open to that person. Ever been open to somebody? Ever been open to a situation? Some people are open to dogs. Some people are very closed to dogs. I guarantee it's based on their past experiences, right? And it doesn't have to be a physical experience. It can be a book they read, a movie they watched. It leaves impressions. That's what that means. Understand, it's all of psychology. It's that stuff you stored in there. So now you react accordingly. Well, sometimes things come in that, I used to think with Tiny Tim back in my days, right? It's called Tiptoe Through the Tulips. All right? That was his song, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. What does that mean? Can I walk around in there without hitting stuff? That's what it always meant to me. I can tiptoe through the tulips. That thing can come in and it can move over here and hit this samskara, but not that one, and do this. And that good experience from the past, oh my God, it's love at first sight. We'll see how long that lasts. It can't possibly last. Why? It just happened to be that that person's energy made it through your samskaras in a way that an energy was free to come up. It literally moved from the third chakra to the fourth. And you feel love. Why? Why? Was it because of the person? Of course not. If somebody told you 5 minutes before you met them, be careful. She's a serial killer, but she doesn't look like it. It don't matter what happened in there because you got that new samskara, a new pattern in there. You're going to redirect that energy. It's all about the energy flow. Your whole life, everything in life, spirituality, everything is about the energy flow. And I told you the natural energy flow is ecstasy. Every one of you, your natural energy flow is what's your gift. You're just God descended. It's just Shakti flowing directly up, nobody interfering with it, yet experiencing what you're experiencing, dealing with what you're dealing with, but it's not hitting anything. It's not disturbing anything. It's not making a mess. But that's not who we are. That's not what's going on. So that basically it comes in, it hits stuff, causes all kinds of commotion. That's anxiety, fears, this, that, everything. But sometimes it happens that something opens you. But now I want you to define what opens mean. It's not operation. Opens means it tiptoed through the tulips. I don't usually use that expression, but now you know what I mean by that. The event and the energy that came in managed to make it through you without hitting that stuff. How do you feel? Inspired, beautiful, love, high, whoa, that was so beautiful. And it can be anything. It can be anything, even terrible things. I'd like to talk the extremes. Do people play Russian roulette? Shake your head, yes or no. You think we make it up? Or do you think people actually go to clubs and dare each other to play Russian roulette? Well, they do. Why in the world would you do such a thing? Take a gun, spin, boom, put it to your head and pull the trigger, right? You ask them, what a rush. I have not felt that alive at any point in my life. I've been so depressed, so down, so closed, putting my life on a line like that and pulling that trigger, whatever, challenging me, proving myself. All of a sudden, all this energy rushed through me. Now, I'm not trying to sell this stuff. Get that straight, right? But do you see that to be the truth? Go talk to any psychologist who's done therapy with people. They'll tell you that, okay? That's because they're so closed. They are so closed due to all the events that hurt them and went on in their life. And they're so closed that it takes something that extreme to open them. Oh my God, we are weird people. But do you understand why now? It's all the same Shakti. Every single thing that's happening is the Shakti blocked or is it able to flow? Same Shakti. What is anger? Blocked Shakti releasing itself. What is maniacal, crazy road rage? Blocked Shakti hit, and it ain't staying in there, and it's going to come out with all the darkness and violence. Shakti. I hate to teach you this because you think Shakti is a spiritual, wonderful thing. It is, but not blocked. Blocked energy is dangerous. It gets powerful, it gets strong. The energy always wants to let go. It does not want to be locked down there. I once told, just like the Hoover Dam. They built the dam to capture and use the Colorado River. That's wonderful, you get electricity and so on. If there is one tiny crack in that dam, 50 years later, it will start to break down. It'll go from a tiny crack to a little bit bigger, and then a leak, and if nobody's paying attention, at some point it'll be hard to stop, right or wrong. Why? That is the Colorado River trying to get out. It's been doing it for all those years because its natural flow has been blocked. That's exactly the same inside of you, inside of everybody. That's why at some point you stop judging other people. It's really a very high state where you realize they're blocked. Why are they blocked? They're blocked because of the experiences they went through that they couldn't handle. They should have been able to handle it. Yeah, they sure should have, but they didn't. Nor did you. And yours are different. My favorite sentence in the whole world when somebody says, how could you do that? I would never have done that. Of course you would have never done that. You know, the same junk inside of you blocked that I have, right? So that it's very natural for me to look at it that way, not for you to look at it that way. The sum of your learned experiences, the sum of your learned experiences. That's what's going on. It's a psychology teacher, isn't it? A human being is the sum of the learned experiences. No, a human being is the self noticing that the rest is the sum of their own experiences. Their psyche, their garbage. And that garbage comes from what you stored in there. If you didn't store that stuff in there, you're be here now. Now you understand what be here now means. Doesn't mean, I tell you, back in the 60s when Ramdas first wrote Be Here Now, we'd all try to be here now. Be here now, pay attention. Be here now. Are you eating? Be here now. That's not be here now. That's trying to be here now. Be here now means where else is there to be? Where else is there to be? Be there then? That's your mind thinking about stuff. Maybe something will happen later. No, be here now means this is what is happening in front of me, and I have nothing inside of me that can't handle it, and it is happening, and I'm experiencing it, and whatever it is, I'm experiencing it. And then the next thing happens, the next thing happens, the next thing happens. Do I interact with it? Of course I interact with it. It's in front of me. I do my best to work with it, but I'm not reacting. Interacting is different than reacting. Reacting is, I used to tell the story that I'm not a war type guy, right? But when they drop a bomb on an enemy warehouse, something like that, they look to see if there's a thing called a secondary explosion. Primary explosion, yeah, I dropped a bomb, it's going to explode. I dropped a bomb and the whole warehouse blew up with fireworks. That means I hit a depot. You have secondary explosions in there, don't you? The event comes in and all of a sudden, wow, this thing's magnified 1,000,000-fold because it hit your stuff. So be here now means there's no secondary explosions. You can handle the primary, and that's all there is. Then I'm back, I'm here. All right. So basically, you're getting back to passion. Passion, and sometimes we talk about passion negative, lust, greed, whatever it is. It's one of the sins, isn't it? I don't know what the sins are, but I think one of them is passion. All right. The 7 deadly sins. I'm not Catholic, I'm Jewish, right? So I don't know this stuff. Isn't it? 7 deadly, who knows? How many deadly sins? 7? 7 and isn't passion one of them? No? Lust? Okay. But it's lust, extreme passion. All right. So we'll go on with passion. So basically, if something happens outside that flows when it comes in and is able to tiptoe through the tulips, able to make it around your samskaras, either because what happened, I guess I have to do it. I don't like to talk about positive samskaras. In yoga, there are negative samskaras and positive samskaras. What do you mean positive? Something happened to you 3 years ago. You met somebody And then they disappeared. You loved them so much. It was so beautiful. You're still looking for them, right? You have a positive samskara. It left an impression on you, so that's all you think about in a positive way. Still screws up your life. Something happened. You want it to happen again. You can't be here now. Don't you want things to happen again that you liked? All right? Can't that screw you up? But I always have a caveat, because I'm supposed to be teaching you reasonable. Don't worry about the positive ones. You'll work with those later. All right? Just be okay. I'm glad you have positive ones, and I'm glad they make you feel better. But boy, the ratio between the negative ones and positive ones, probably 1,000 to 1 and even greater. That things that bothered you that you stored in there are still bothered, rather than I hope it happens again. Do you hear me? Okay. So as a spiritual teacher, I'm teaching you spiritual things. You have this Shakti in there. It is blocked. And it can be blocked because you pushed it away, or it can be blocked because you cling to it. That's a Buddhist term, clinging. It happened. I don't want it not to happen. Don't go away. No, don't. No, I'm afraid. Look, where does jealousy come from? It happened. I like it. Shut up and sit down there. Don't talk on the phone to anybody else. It's called clinging. I'm holding on to the energy. It causes just as much trouble, does it not? But people are not ready to be here now. They're not ready to sit there and say, life is unfolding, and that's what my life is about. The reality of the reality. And I'm going to put my heart and soul into whatever it is. But what if something happens that's really painful? Like someone you love dies. I will participate in the process to the core of my being. I will be somebody who's going through the pain and the loss of death right then, right there. I don't get lost in it. I'm just aware that this is the moment. This is what's happening now. And I can be there with it. I don't have to say, I can't handle this. I'll never talk to anybody ever again. You're not handling the situation. Doesn't mean you don't feel pain. That's part of the process of life. Have you noticed that there can be sorrow and pain and different things? Can you handle them? Or do you sit there and say, I can't handle this, and get weird and never talk to somebody again? So life is an experience. And when you're open, you experience it. When you're not, you suppress it. And you're going to get in trouble suppressing it, because it's going to come back up and fight you your whole life. People go, oh yeah, we got divorced. When? I don't know, 7 years ago. Why are you still talking about it? I thought you got divorced. You didn't let it go. It didn't make it through. So again, what is passion? Passion, as you want to talk about it, is something happened, it brought energy into you, and that energy made it through, and it lifted you. Why? Because you're not blocked. All right. If something happens and energy comes up, I don't want to call it passion. Energy comes up, and it's very beautiful. And it's very uplifting. It wants to express itself, doesn't it? Okay? It wants to express itself. It may express itself physically in passion. It may express itself in work, burying yourself into what you're doing. It turns you on so much. You don't want to go home. I love that you have a job like that, right? It's just like, wow, I can't wait to go to work in the morning. All right, I'm so passionate about this job. I'm passionate about this person. I'm passionate about our love. I'm passionate. In other words, the energy is flowing, as opposed to, I don't feel it anymore. It's not working for me. That's energy blocked. The other is energy flowing. Same energy. And in truth, the energy is never really blocked. It's just held down. How do I know? Because it keeps trying to come back up. It's always trying to push its way back up. Okay, so what does one do about this? There's 3 things you can do with the energy when it comes up inside. 1, you can suppress it, push it back down to try and feel better, because I don't have to deal with it. You don't have to deal with it, push it away. That's the lowest thing you can do with the energy. Why? It stays down there. It causes just as much trouble. So what do? It's driving me crazy. It's bothering me in here. It hurts. It's disturbing. Of course it is. It was stored with pain. It's coming back with pain. So now it's coming up. What do? The next step, if you're not suppressing, is expressing. You have to deal with the energy, or the energy will deal with you. Okay? And so now you're suppressing. And next thing you know, you want to express that anger. Next thing you want to know, you just want to, when I used to do prison work, and they were all, maximum security guys in for life. There was this beautiful young man, and he would come to class. He was very sincere and meditated and all kinds of stuff. But a lot of times he missed the class. But he loved the class. I'd go in every weekend. He's not there. And I'd say, where are you? I was in lockup. You're meditating? You're spiritual? You're really devoted to the path? what are you doing in lockup? He told me. He said, I love to fight. He wasn't big. He's a little guy. I love to fight. I don't care if I get beat up. I don't care if I beat the other guy up. It is the only time I feel okay in here. In other words, I got all this energy pent up in here, and I don't care what happens. I want to let it go. I don't care if I go lock up. I don't care how long I go to lock up. It feels so good to finally get this. Anybody listening? Do you understand? Is he wrong? There's no right or wrong. There's just the reality of the fact that he couldn't handle it. He needed to express it, right? And that's an extreme expression. Anger is an extreme expression. Do people feel better if they get angry and blow things and say, oh, I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean what I said, all right? So you're either suppressing it or expressing it, right? And suppressing it is a long-term serious problem. Expressing it can be a very short-term. How do they end up in there for life? Well, they express it. It's like, who knows what you're going to do? Okay? Lots of different things. Or, oh, let's take something maybe uglier than fighting, right? I'm jealous. How jealous? Extremely jealous. It's driving me crazy. I don't know why I'm this way. I've been this way ever since kindergarten or something happened. And I just have a lot of jealousy. And I keep thinking somebody's going to take advantage of me or to hurt me, so on. So I hired a private detective. In fact, 4 of them. I hired 4 private detectives, right? And the only time I'm comfortable is when they come and report to me. They show me pictures of what my husband or wife was doing or not doing, really, okay? And reporting, okay, all right? And it's like, wow. And it doesn't matter whether they're reporting that they did something, that releases the energy, or they didn't do something, that releases the energy. I've never talked to you this deeply. Do you understand what I'm telling you? So anything where you're expressing instead of suppressing, I could sit on it, but boy, you have trouble living with yourself or anybody living with you. So you find a way to express it. What's beautiful is psychology. They know what I'm talking about. They just don't teach it in the form of yoga, the form of energy like this. All right. They sit there and say, find a hobby, find a sport that turns you on. And if you feel anger, knit. Just do another way to channel the energy. So channeling the energy. See, they know it's energy. Isn't that beautiful? They still call it Shakti. It's all the same energy. It's just how it got down there, how you're suppressing it, and how you try to express it. And psychology pretty much says if you don't suppress it and you find a way to express it, that's healthy. It's a healthy expression. You have to find a way to release the energy. It's burning you up and so on. So that can be passion. And that can be the cause of passion. I just love golf. I love bowling. Oh my God, I can't wait to go there because I get so screwed up during the week and I get down there with the team and I can throw that ball. That's very healthy. That's wonderful. Instead of throwing it at somebody, you throw it down the lane. That's a form of passion, isn't it? It's a form of releasing the energy. That's 2 of the 3 things you can do with the energy. Well, wait, you said bowling and you said this. No. Those are thousands of ways to express your energy. Millions of them, right? But they're all the same. You're expressing it. It has to be released somehow instead of suppressing it. And psychology will always tell you that it's healthier to express than to suppress. Unless what you're suppressing would have been so violent and so damaging to other people that you're better off holding on to it and being able to handle it at that time and then trying to work with it later. Am I being fair to psychology? Is that true? Okay, all right. Is there a third way? Is there a way that actually works? Because the expression, hey, have you noticed expression can release energy but builds right back? That you can express it and it feels really good, but the pain builds back up. The ultimate is that thing you guys do with each other, right? That lasts for 2 seconds. And I don't ever use that word. I won't talk to you about it. But it is all Shakti. That's the energy expressing itself, releasing itself. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. But it doesn't end anything. It comes right back. It builds right back up. Why? Because the reason it had to release like that, it was blocked. It didn't get rid of the blockages. It allowed them to release, to express. And that goes with everything. Is there a higher thing to do with the energy instead of suppressing it or finding a reasonable way to cope with it and express it? Yes, there is. And that is what yoga is all about. Now we're talking spirituality. It's called transmutation. What does that mean? It's energy. It's all energy. It can be channeled, not channeled into a sport, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You understand that? You need to work with how you're working with that, where you're working with it at the right time. It's not wrong or right, okay? But if the energy is coming up and it's trying to go out and it has to do this or that to release, there is a way to bring it up higher. You can literally, the energy's there, you're not denying it, but it can't go higher because it's hitting the higher chakras. It's hitting the next place where you're closed. So it doesn't go up. You can start to feel anger because somebody said something, your kid did something, said something, or did something, or somebody at work. You understand that? You start to feel it down there, right? Third chakra starts to boil. And you learn how to relax, to look at it and say, oh, okay, this is Shakti trying to come up. Give her room, relax, relax. And when you go deep enough, it turns into love. Literally, you watch it happen. The energy that started as anger ends up, whoa, and hitting your heart and coming up with love. And the heart's just the fourth chakra. There's 7 of them. It can go even higher. It's unbelievable, okay? There are artists, great artists, who are very blocked, and then they get a release, and it comes out as a masterpiece, as pure inspiration. Whoa, what is that? That is a transmutation of energy. It made it up to a higher expression, not needed to be a physical, this plane's expression. It went up to a higher level. That is the essence of yoga. That is the essence of spirituality. Learn to channel the energy. Learn to make it turn into God. All energy is divine energy. It's just blocked. If you release the blockages, you will find it goes up. And eventually, when you learn to release the blockages all the time, every day, that's the essence of the teaching that I've learned over all these years. It's like, sure, I used to meditate 6 hours a day. I don't do that anymore. Okay, it was way back. All right. Well, what do? Let go. What do you mean? All day, for all these years, running a business, doing all these different things, things happen. You try to let go. Are you perfect? No, but you try. Your intention is this energy, whatever it is, this employee is screwing stuff up, this is happening, your competitor took over the thing, whatever it is, business, relationships, whatever it is, it comes in, if it hits your stuff, let go. Whoa, what do you mean let go? Let go. Well, then what? Then you deal with it. But first let go. And when you see what happens, you get to a point where the energy is always flowing. It's never not flowing. It's not a matter of having to transmute until you get to really higher levels. There's always energy flowing through your heart. And until you close your heart saying, I can't handle that. That was not right. So what? It's not right. I'll tell you what. Do you want to take love, real love, and trade it off for anger and jealousy and fear and insecurity? That's not a good trade. All right? And that's like, you come here, I'll give you $1, you give me 1,000. I'll do it all day. You get to the point where you say, yes, that's why I teach what I teach you. Now you understand what's going on in there. Do you hear me? Shakti. The same Shakti that a guru is healing with, that oming and all this high stuff's going on, the exact same stuff, but it's blocked. All right? You want to get high? You want to have a beautiful life? Don't block it. Let it go. Learn to let go. Learn to accept and release. All right? I have to caveat because you don't understand. You think acceptance means let whatever happen happen. No, it doesn't mean that. It means inside, when it comes in and it becomes disturbed energy, honor that, respect that, accept it as reality, and let it go. Let it go inside. Then you can come back and deal with it the best you can. But first let go. Don't act out of a reaction because you hit your stuff. If you do that regularly, I promise you, people write me from all over the world, 80% are thank you. How could I ever thank you? I was having so much trouble. I never knew that I could do this. Why? It's the truth. You're in there. It's your world in there. Nobody else lives in there. And what you're tending to do is make it filthy in there by storing inside of you everything that ever bothered you. Why is that rational? When I go to a restaurant and eat, it makes me sick. Something it doesn't work. It doesn't work, whatever it is. Okay? I'm asking for a doggy bag. And I'm taking that food home. And every single day, I'm going into that sick room and taking a spoonful so I remember how bad this was and how sick it made me. That is what you're doing. You've stored every single thing that ever hurt you throughout your entire life. and stored it inside so it can bother you for the rest of your life. And so you wake up. So what's the spiritual path? What about passion? There's nothing wrong with passion. It's beautiful, okay? But there's higher energy and lower energy. There's different expressions. And so you get to the point where you realize, I'm in here. I got stuff. How do you know you're in here? You know you're in here. I like it when they arrive and you say, how do I know what I need to deal with? Don't have to go down there and find it. No, you do not have to go down there and find it. It will find you. Your stuff is going to get hit. But how do I know it's the right stuff that got hit? Because it got hit. If you would just be here now and deal with what you're dealing with, that's enough. At that moment, relax the best you can and release. Relax and release. Then come back and deal with it from a place of clarity. But relax and release. It takes time. It takes time to maturely deal with deep stuff. You hear me? It's not some drug you take or some quick meditation thing. Do a retreat, fine. But that's not the same thing as sitting here saying, this is my life's work. Earth is a place where souls are sent to evolve. And you're evolving every minute of every single moment of your entire life, if you're willing to. All right? So hit your stuff. How do you know? I know. You just do the best you can to relax in the face of the disturbed energy that comes back up. Why? The alternative is to keep it in there. And I ain't keeping it in there. Period. Well, what if it's so strong it comes up and I lose my center of self, and the next thing I know I did bad things or did sad things and threw pots and pans around and did different things, and then it kind of calmed down and I came back and I felt embarrassed and ashamed. You do the best you can to stay conscious, and if it pulls you down and you get lost in it, you come back as soon as possible and say, thanks for the lessons. Thanks for the growth. Otherwise, you just put guilt on top of, you won't grow. You won't grow. If a kid is riding a bicycle with their dad and they take the training wheels off first time and they fall, I'm so embarrassed. My father didn't please. It was wrong. It was not wrong. That's how you learn balance. You ain't learning balance on a bicycle until you fall off. All you're asked for is the best you can. Just do the best you can to be centered and conscious, and times will happen that you get pulled away. It's so strong that you get pulled down into it. Yes or no? Okay? And then you get yourself back up and you brush that off and you say, thank you, thank you, thank you. I learned. I will do better next time. Well, how do I know to do better next time? Because if you practice playing tennis, you will get better. If you practice the piano, you will get better. If you practice consciously letting go to the best of your ability, you will get better. And that is your spiritual path. And then eventually what happens, somebody had me give a talk once to some business people. A person had read my books, and they all did. I really liked them. And they talked to me about finding your passionate job, finding your passion. And I sat there and said, what do you mean finding your passion? Your passion is inside of you. It's not in a job. It's not in a relationship. If you're blocked, then you won't feel the passion. It's called conditional well-being until the conditions work. Well, why don't you work on getting rid of the blockages so you feel the passion about everything? There's one of the great masters, again, I'm not using names, great masters, very enlightened being, that they had outhouses at the ashrams. The master himself cleaned the outhouses. He went in there with his own being and cleaned. It didn't bother him one iota. He was completely gone. It didn't matter. Do you understand that? Work on letting go of all this garbage you have stored in there that makes it so you can't be high all the time. And be high all the time. And then come down and spread that love. All right. Now do you understand passion a little better? What is passion? Shakti, release to express itself. What is unconditional passion? You're passionate about everything. You're passionate about life. You're passionate about every single aspect of everything. You can't wait to get to do it again. All right. Thank you for listening. Jai Gurudev.
You've been listening to the Michael Singer Podcast, produced by Sounds True in partnership with Shakti Publications. For more information on Michael's body of work and all back episodes, please join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening. Sounds True, waking up the world.